In this episode, Ryan talks about mistakes he's made with a contract on 2,000 student rooms that cost money and created problems in his relationship with his partner, business partner, and girlfriend over this deal. What started off as a lucrative income-generating deal that really was a project for my partner to manage has done nothing but drain time, drain resources, cost money, and damage a relationship with a client. Ryan explains why it's best to say no sometimes to some deals and some partnerships. Show me the money on Wednesday. If you have a deal right now and you don't know the best way to structure it, if you post a deal in the community group on Facebook called Property Crash Course, Ryan will help you unlock hidden profits and save you from locking yourself into a loss on those bad deals that every property sourcer wants you to buy.
Hey podcasters, I just want to share with you another problem, another challenge, which of course leads to opportunities in my business. Now this is something, a new venture that we haven't really done before. It accidentally came along whilst we were doing our core business, which is running a property company and providing accommodation for companies and everything like that. This came along on the back of that. Basically a guest staying in one of our properties, which is a company that we've worked with for a while now. They stayed with us all through the pandemic, all through the coronavirus, with their team, because they're key workers, and they're still with us now, but we had a problem which came on the back of, they referred us to the company that they were working for, and turned out to be a problem as of today. Now, let me give you a bit of background. We got a contract from a company which asked us if we could help out because they've been let down by their team of cleaners to take over a contract and clean 2,000 student rooms. 2,000. Okay, 2,000 student rooms. Now, it's something that we don't usually do. We're not cleaners. However, with the amount of properties we've got in that particular city, now we've got a hotel in that particular city as well. We have the team. It just meant recruiting a few more, and we could obviously take on that task. I mean, a contract for up to 2,000 student rooms to clean. This is when one student moves out, like the end of the year, the end of, the summer, and then a new batch of students moves in. So they leave, they take all their stuff. It's like a contract clean at the end. Now, it originally started with the company was doing some maintenance work, upgrading their fire systems in the building to make sure that they were safe and everything else. And that created lots of dust, lots of mess and everything else. So originally it started off that we would just go after the builders that stay with us anyway, and we would clean up after them. So not after students, not after their mess, etc., etc. On the face of it, that sounded okay. We had the team, we can recruit a few more people. I put a manager in place to manage this project because it's not something that I would have the time or energy to do. It wasn't big enough for me to get my teeth into it. And we went ahead and did the first project for our clients, and they were paying us, our clients. So we did the first part of the project. It came to around about, a couple of grand for the first stage of the project. That's completely finished. Everybody's happy, over the moon with the quality and everything else. And then as soon as we finished that project, the main company who actually owns the student accommodation approached us and said, look, we've seen what you've done for obviously the company that they're working with. You've done a much better job, you've done it much quicker, and you've done it cheaper. We'd like to use you to do the rest of the building. So we just said, look, it's not something that we normally do, but they were let down and they instructed us, and we started on the same day. Now this was more of a deep clean because this is after students, etc. So we've got one project running over there, this new project, which is something we had no intention to do because, we don't do that. But they said, look, we're stuck, we're struggling, you've done a great job. We've got students moving back in like in a week's time or 10 days time. The other companies let us down. They just can't do it. They're not good enough and they haven't got enough people, etc., etc. Can you help us out? So we said, okay, fine. Just as a favor, just as a favor, we will help you out and obviously complete this work for you. So we got the list from them. They told us what to do. Everything that they highlighted in green was emergency stuff, had to be completed by Friday, the 11th of September. Everything else, there wasn't such a strict deadline. So we would return, come back, and then finish those things off, okay? So it comes to Thursday, the 10th of September. We've done everything that we needed to do ahead of time, 1 day ahead of time, because the manager who gave us this list, gave us a list, everything in green had to be completed by the Friday the 11th, which we did, and we finished it way ahead of time. Okay, so that's done. We're happy, we're thinking they're happy. We've pulled our guys off, guys, moved on to the next project, and we're happy. We pulled our guys off, girls off, moved on to the next project, and we're all good. That's what we thought. Then Friday comes. Nobody's turned up because we thought we're done, and we thought we'll just come back next week and do the loose ends. We finished it ahead of time. Oh look, I recognise these people here. Painting. Hold on 1 second. Bailey. Painting, yeah?
Yeah.
Good. The outside. Nice. How's it going?
Yeah, it's getting there.
So you finished the 21 and now straight onto this.
Straight onto this, yeah. Sorry I can't sort the cigars again today, but
It's fine.
tell you what, me up here doing this.
I saw him this morning and I said, obviously you're not working. And he was like, oh, but he's got to go and buy the cigars. I said, don't worry, he can do that another day.
Okay. Right. Yeah, keep getting postponed.
I know it does. Yeah, that's fine.
Always busy.
He's on a tight schedule and this is behind. So yeah, just crack on.
Yeah, no problem. I'll sort another day to get them to you then.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, no worries. I'll see you later.
Yeah, catch you in a bit. Have a nice day.
So, sorry about that interval. That was, we just bumped into one of our housekeepers and handyman who's actually doing some painting outside a friend's shop. Just had to go and say hello. So, going back to where we were, sorry, before I was interrupted. So we thought we're way ahead of time. We pulled our team off and was like, okay, we'll come back on Monday and just finish up the other bits that need finishing up because we're way ahead of time, etc., etc. And then we had a phone call and then some emails Friday morning saying things along the lines of nobody's turned up, where are they? We're way behind, we're struggling, etc., etc. All of this stuff. Anyway, I spoke to everyone I needed to speak to. I ended up having to go to meet the site manager because he was shouting and screaming down the phone and making all these threats and demands. So I just said, look, it's easy if I just come in to see you. So I just left what I was doing, went to see the guy, looked him in his eye and said, look, what seems to be the problem? He's like, all of these aren't done. And I said, but this list here in green, our contract, our deal is to finish everything in green by Friday the 11th at 3 p.m, which we've done on Thursday, the 10th at midnight. We stayed late for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nights with the team there, working them to the bone, to be honest. They're all a bit pissed off because of this particular job that we did, which we don't normally do. So they weren't even really happy and we finished it. And then the guy's saying, well, hold on a minute, you haven't finished it because it's not the stuff in green. It's everything on the list. And we're like, well, you told us the green stuff. So we structured everything to finish the green stuff. Anyway, cut a long story short, the green stuff in his mind, he moved the goalposts. Very, very simple. We asked him what needs to be done, what rooms have to be done, what is the deadline for the first batch of rooms, and it was Friday, 3 p.m. for everything in green. We did that and more. Because they're under pressure, the company, because they're not organised, the company, because there's loads of middlemen involved in the deal on their side, not our side. They fucked up. And then they're just ringing us, making these demands, saying, if you don't get back here today, you're not getting paid. As if I have any interest in listening to somebody speaking to me like that when we've done them a favour. We're dealing with properties, multi-million-pound transactions. We said we're doing them a favour for a small cleaning job. Just a favour. So I go down to see the guy and he's like, yeah, well, if you don't do this and you don't get your people back, I'm just not going to pay you. And I'm like, hold on a minute. Without actually saying it, I was like, do you know who you're actually speaking to? We're not a fucking cleaning company, mate. We pulled some of our people off from our fucking hotels. We're in the hotel business to do you a favour, to help you out because you had nobody else. We're not a cleaning company, so no, we don't put up with any of this crap from people like you. And, you know, just the way he was conducting himself was all wrong. It was like, you're just cleaners. You're supposed to do as you're told. I need this many people here. If you can't get them here because you fucked up, then you're not getting paid. This is what he was saying. So I was very calm, very polite. I didn't say those things I was thinking. That is what I was thinking. I didn't say them. I just carefully said, so what do we need to do to fix the situation? And we agreed. Well, first of all, he said, well, that's it. Fuck it. Don't come back. And he left. And then he walked back and caught me up as I was about to get into the car. I just walked off. And then he says, actually, no, if you can just do this today, and then you can bring 4 people here on Monday, we're all good. I said, okay, fine. So just do this today, which is extra, and then 4 people here on Monday, and you're happy. Yeah, I'm happy. Okay, brilliant.
If you're a landlord and you don't know how to increase your rent up to 199% using Booking.com, then you're making a big mistake. Because every £1,000 of rent is now returning £3,000 every single month on Booking.com. And you never have to evict a tenant again. I'm serious. Anyways, I created an ebook. It's called The Rent Arbitrage Machine. So I can show you exactly how you can increase your rent up to 199% on your own rental properties. Just head over to theyrentanyhome.com/free book and just tell me where to send your free copy.
And then the rest of the stuff on the list for us to finish as soon as possible next week. Yes, great. So we send 3 people there, pulled them off different jobs from our hotels, from our properties, from our Airbnbs, Booking.com properties, our shortlets, etc., etc., and sent them back to the student accommodation to work late on Friday and finish all of the other bits that the guy said that had to be done that day. Then we send them back on the Monday, the 4 of them, to do the rest of the things on the only list we've ever been given, and we finish all of it by the Tuesday, the 15th. So by Tuesday the 15th, absolutely everything that we was given on the list, we finished. Done. Dusted. So we leave. Now, what are we today? 21st. We send an invoice today on the 21st. Bearing in mind, we've never heard anything from the guy since we left. Nothing at all. Not a phone call, not an email, not a text, not a complaint, nothing. And all along he said how amazing our team is, how great they are, how fast they are, how much better than the other people they are, etc., etc. Singing our praises every single day. So we don't hear nothing for 7, 8, 9 days, whatever that is. And then we send the invoice. Within 15 minutes of sending the invoice, he says, you're not getting paid. You haven't finished the job. He had to send his own team of cleaners in to go back over every single room that our team did because it wasn't up to his standards. It's not finished, and he never instructed us to do the work. So, yeah, the guy is fucking terrible. The guy is so disorganized. He's so all over the place. He's such a mess. So now it's transpired that, there's, 4 or 5 grand's worth of work that we've done there. Everybody in our team has been paid. And he's now saying, we're not paying you at all. So we haven't actually got a contract because we did this on the day with an email. We did send an email. On the day with an email. We got a spec from the guy what to do, which was just a list that he printed off and gave to us. We've ticked off every single thing. Not at one stage has he asked us to come back to have a look at it or go through some rooms. He's just said, you didn't finish it on time. He didn't instruct us. He's not paying. And he had to send people to go back over absolutely everything we did. Now, we know that this guy is just taking a piss. We know that the other agent knows that this guy is just a loser. He's supposed to be the operations manager on the site. He's just a loser. So the mistake that I've made is doing another favor for somebody else that we're working with in a new venture that is just not our cup of tea. We just did it just because we have a team of people. It was a lot of headache. It was a lot of hassle. It costs a lot of time and resources, and we may not even be getting paid from the, just under 5 grand or so that we're owed for the first batch. We may not even be getting paid. So I don't want a legal battle. I don't want to have to go to court. So I've left it as, I'm just about to reply to the guy in a moment, and I've got my assistant to find out who he reports to, who his manager is, who he's answerable to, so I can copy this into him and make a complaint about him by saying, we was instructed to do this, we done this on time, we left a week ago, we sent an invoice, today he said he's not paying it, and today he's only told us about some problems and he didn't give us the opportunity to put them right or even meet him on site, so we're disappointed. What have we learned from this? We need to start saying no to things instead of saying yes. I've said yes to this project when it's not something that we have any interest in doing. It was just because it was helping out a client who stayed with us for a very long time in our properties. That's it. We have no intention to do this. We was helping out a client who's staying in our property. I put a manager in place that manages the hotel, and she's stressed out, she's upset. It's sort of like her first biggest third-party project, and it's gone wrong. So not because of anything that we've done, unless it's a contract we didn't have in place, because we did it on a handshake, because we did it as a favor. So yes, hands up, it does stop with me there. But again, it was on face value, gesture of goodwill. We trusted these people. They said, just do this. We got on with it, cracked on with it, done the work, finished everything. And then when you're about to get paid, they come up with a string of complaints just because of their upset. So we need to start saying no more than we say yes. We need to stop doing favors because they're ending up backfiring on us, wasting time, wasting money, wasting resources, wasting energy, and jeopardizing relationships, and just stick to what we do best, which is our core business. I hope you got some value from this rant. It's just me expressing some more problems on Monday morning.
He's a #1 Amazon bestseller. He's an NLP manipulator. He's a property course seller. He's a Lamborghini driving multi-millionaire property guru. Forget that same old boring I am me narcissistic podcast format, because nobody gives a fuck. This podcast is all about you. So I'm taking these few seconds to thank you for subscribing, to thank you for leaving your 5-star reviews, and thank you for sharing this show with all of your friends. My team and I will keep bringing you these episodes and answering all of your burning questions in my Facebook community group called Property Crash Course. If you can just keep telling all of your friends about this show.